Okay, thank you everybody. Great to see everybody back from lunch. And as you see, I have physically rolling up my sleeves. And also metaphorically, it's time to work. The European Union is the greatest democratic success story since the Greeks invented the very concept of democracy. So let's set aside for at least one day the nationalistic choirs of no-sayers and reflect on the amazing successes of this amazing community. Peace in our time and the creation of the largest economic entity in history. While the world struggles with deflation, defamation, global warming, and social equality, the EU is taking a more visionary approach. Europe, in the form of the digital single market, is aiming to take the democratic empowerment of its citizens to a new level by embracing technology and engaging its citizens in a project that could make our community the locomotive for a new sustainable world order driven by the power of sharing. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about communities, the collaborative commons, the sharing economy. Every corporate success in recent years has at its core a community. What made Microsoft acquire Minecraft? Its community. What makes Uber super? Its community. And what has empowered Airbnb to offer more hotel beds than the Hilton? Its community. All right, so much for the Americans. What about us? Europe has at its core the biggest and culturally richest community of them all. If we can engage and empower that community, its economic value would be difficult to overestimate. The digital single market has as its goal a growth in GDP of 4%. I believe, personally, this is to be quite a conservative estimate. We Europeans need to be much more ambitious than that. As the Commission has so rightly pointed out, industry must play a key role in the creation of a European digital economy and society. Corporates must be the locomotive in this process, yes, and our politicians, all they have to do is to build us the high-speed rails on which we can operate. So, what's stopping us? Underneath and beyond is a fundamental issue, commonly seen and treated as an obstacle. Now, I've written the 60 European languages. I think Lane would disagree with me and say there are many more. But let's stick with this. These languages, they're not a barrier. These languages and cultures are a gift. They are in fact a cause of celebration, not a problem for us. They are at the core of all things European. Language captures, defines, and develops a community. Language defines our identity, what we are a part of. It makes us aware of who we are and what we want to become. So I would argue that language represents an unleashed potential of European wealth and cultural richness, and that the language industry is the overseeing bridgehead to embrace, engage, and empower all Europeans. In fact, by releasing the power of our 60 languages and cultures, we can show the world how to do this with the other 6,000 languages out there. These are exciting times. Europe needs to embrace three key economies, currently changing the very essence of modern business and society: the circular economy, the collaborative economy, and the API economy. And all three of these involve, the most important thing of all, a change of mindset, also among the people sat in the room today. In his book, The Zero Marginal Cost Society, Jeremy Rifkin writes, "We're just beginning to glimpse the bare outlines of an emerging new economic system, the collaborative commons. This is the first new economic paradigm to emerge on the world scene since the advent of capitalism and socialism in the early 19th century. So, someone didn't just move the goalpost, they changed all the rules as well. People have changed. People are changing. This is the greatest opportunity ever to combine economic growth and sustainability in every aspect of European life. We should not underestimate a real desire amongst people to be a part of something, a sense of belonging, and to contribute to making sense of one's role in the overall consumer ecosystem. The millennials, that most powerful of future consumer groups, are imbued with a generational altruism. They believe it's very important to help others, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They're growing up with the internet as a persuasive technology. It teaches people the power of sharing and of collaboration. It creates trust between individuals. Once people experience that power, it's natural for them to apply the same logic to every aspect of their lives. There is a long-term trend towards sharing finite resources, or you might say, of paying it forward. We can now engage these young Europeans by utilizing language technology cloud platforms to facilitate transparency and trust. Language technology is the facilitator that empowers communities, and it can be, the facilitator to create a sustainable and shared future for all of us.